Hey guys, just thought I'd make another video as I haven't, done one since before, New Year's. It didn't go quite according to plan. I was planning on doing a whole bunch in succession, but it didn't happen. Yeah, been kind of working through some stuff and experiencing some kind of negative energies as well, which I'm glad Ashul Boo Baby brought up because I've definitely experienced kind of similar things to what he's talking about in that video, and yeah, it's not pleasant at all. But anyway, that's not the topic of this video. I just wanted to talk about how kind of I got here, like to now basically, and the experiences I've had leading up to, basically contact with interdimensional, extraterrestrial, other beings. So basically, my first awakening happened when I was probably about 15, and I used to take, after school I'd get home and take my dog, which was like a hunting dog, so he needed lots of, not lots of like, running and to swim and stuff like that. So I'd walk for about, an hour, sometimes 2 hours through parklands, and which were near, it was in the city, but still there was quite extensive parklands in the city. And so I'd, yeah, on one evening, it was after school anyway, not evening yet, I was walking through the parklands, and on the way back, I kind of, for some reason, just looked back from where I was walking from, and saw, well, at that point I had no idea what it was, but that's why I kind of stood there and looked at it for ages. It was basically a huge silver craft. At first I thought it was a blimp, so I was looking for an undercarriage or looking for any advertising on it or anything like that, but there was none. And actually there was basically a black band that went across the center of it, and there was one light that would move, a square light that was illuminated with all the rest of them being dark. And as it moved across, it looked straight out of the 1950s, UFO movie kind of thing. And like, I didn't really know I didn't know much about that sort of stuff back then. And so I just kept looking at it, and it was just hovering right above the trees, and it was, it was big. It wasn't a little thing in the sky. It was quite close to me and quite big, actually. And I drew like this is basically kind of, I don't know if you can see this, but that's basically what it looked like. That way. So the light, that way. Yeah, the light was, blinking across here one square at a time. And so yeah, after that, like, I just, I stared at it for ages, and it was right on dusk. That's why I named, this channel Dusk. And basically, yeah, I just couldn't shake it, like, I looked at it for ages, something clicked inside me. I just couldn't work out what it was. And so after that, I started, it's just like I couldn't shake it, so I just kept researching stuff, after I realized it was probably like a UFO craft or something. But it was metal, it wasn't a, so who was inside it, I don't know, whether it was extraterrestrials, humans, just, whatever. But it triggered me from that time on, and then I found out lots of information, reading books, going to lectures, and then it was basically just hassle people from high school right on to, right till now, talking about ETs and all the rest of it. Anyway, kind of moving forward from there, about a couple of years ago, I do martial arts, and I was practicing martial art, which is an internal martial art, and part of that is Qigong. So I think it was about maybe a year ago, no, sorry, about 2 years ago or something like that, maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was in my house, and I was living in the city at that point, and I was practicing this Qigong exercise for about, I think it was about 2 hours, just very simple, which I'll show in some other videos, just because it basically unlocked me. And that was what I was talking about in my last video, about how I felt this source or something, energy, go through me. And from that time on, I could feel, sense things, you know. I've always been pretty intuitive and kind of a bit psychic sometimes too, but this was different. And after that happened, I started to notice that I could feel my own chakras, you know, and the energy coming from my chakras, you know, out of them. But then I noticed that I could also feel like other sets of chakras, like in the room, you know, and I was like, what is this? And yeah, that was pretty strange. But, you know, it made sense that if I could feel my chakras, then maybe I could feel chakras of, well, I didn't know who it was or what it was, or, you know. But anyway, so I fast forward to probably, not sure of the exact date, maybe mid last year or maybe earlier, maybe a bit later, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'd moved to the country and I was in a bit of a bad state. I was angry at just the kind of life and the way things were going, you know. Anyway, I was driving down to the city and I remember asking the universe, like, who am I, you know, and I asked really passionately from the heart, you know, like, who am I? What's this all about, you know? And anyway, I came back, I think it was the next day, and I came back into my house and yeah, I remember later that evening I walked into the kitchen, and as I walked into the kitchen I saw basically 5 light beings, or maybe 4 or 5 light beings, which were basically balls. It was like their chakras were like, you know, say a circle here, you know, a ball here of golden light, and then a golden light here, and you know, the different chakra systems. And these beings basically walked up to me, and you know, I wasn't afraid or anything, and for some reason, and yeah, anyway, I just started like touching them and hold, you know, like touching their face, and they, you know, grabbed my hand, and you know, it was crazy. And then so that was my introduction to the kind of, you know, high dimensional beings. And since then I've had pretty much, you know, non-stop daily contact with beings from other dimensions, other star systems, you know, angelic beings, and then also some like negative beings, you know. Now, I don't know where those negative beings are from necessarily, although, you know, I've got suspicions because they're big, real big. Like the beings that I've been basically in contact with, you know, they're the size of, you know, almost the size of the roof kind of thing. But all different, you know. And yeah, so, you know, it's fairly full on when you start interacting with these beings. But and I've learned quite a bit of information and so on. Just mainly about, a lot of it's been clearing, like, you know, clearing your bodily system, your energetic body. But yeah, and other things. But one of the things I want to do in my next couple of videos is show how you can maybe start to interact, because you know, I definitely feel these beings a lot. I mean, I see them, and it's funny, I see things more with my eyes open than I do with my eyes closed. You know, it's through your third eye. So I'll often, even if I'm just walking down the street, I'll see, you know, balls of light or beings or whatever coming and, you know, coming up to me, or just floating around or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to try and help people in unlocking that ability to feel, you know, which is very good, especially when you need to flow with these beings or interact with them in a quite a physical way. You need that lightness to be able to turn off your basically all the different tension that you store up in your body. And this is why Qigong and martial arts are so good, because they do that. And then once you can get to that ability, then you can actually interact in a physical way that's almost like we would interact in a 3D way, with some limitations, of course. But yeah, so that's going to be my intention for the next couple of videos. Yeah, as I said, some things have been good, some things, when you can feel, obviously, you can also, if there's negativity around, negative energies, then you can feel those too. And but obviously that's where your protection comes in, and you're building up your light body and so on. But yeah, I might just leave it there for now, and yeah, just wanted to say peace out, and love you all.